presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
We welcome you to Petco Park in San Diego, where Jhoulys Chacín gets ready for Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Padres and the Rockies. Chad Bettis on the hill tonight for Colorado, 1-3 with a 6.23 ERA. Looking for win number 13 is Jhoulys Chacín, a 4.12 earned run average. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Petco Park. Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, indeed, Jhoulys Chacín was the opening day starter for the Padres this year. He's got 12 wins. Tonight he looks for win number 13 and very comfortable here at Petco Park.
He's Mr. Reliable here at Petco Park. He's making his 31st start, his 16th here at home at Petco Park. And the numbers prove it. The proof is in the pudding right there. 191 at home for Jhoulys Chacín. But the last time out, remember the rain delay? He went 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts against a very, very good offensive team at Colorado's Coors Field. So now he comes back home here. Still a deep lineup. There is a handful of Rockies that are slumping right now. He pitches backwards in the count. And once again, it's all about relaxation to feel comfortable here at Petco Park. The ERA 1.91, second in Major League Baseball at home for Jhoulys Chacín.
Tonight marks his 31st start of the year, the Padres and Rockies. And while the Padres are not going to the postseason, there are some individual milestones, some historic milestones for San Diego Padres to go after. Bob Scanlon will discuss. So we come back right after this on Fox Sports San Diego. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Saquon Casino. Play, win together in the heart of San Diego. By Petco, where the pets go. And by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru, symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. Well, it's the Padres and Rockies and San Diego legends here at the ballpark tonight. Before we get it started, let's send it to another legend, Bob Scanlon.
Thank you, Don. I don't have the legend status, but you know what? There's some exciting things going on here at the end of the season. Now, all season long, this ball club has been dedicated to one thing, that's winning games as a team. Now, that being said, as we get down to the final few games, there are some personal milestones, some home runs possibilities. Will Myers can get to 30, Hunter Renfroe to 25, Austin Hedges on the verge of getting 20 home runs. Clayton Richard might get to 200 innings pitched. What does Andy Green think about some of the pursuits of these personal goals and not get in the way of the game plan? Let's take a look.
I think as a manager, you want to afford certain people the opportunity to reach milestones, but they got to do it on their own when they're on the field. So, and also always has to be in the context of what helps a team win baseball games. I think if you're looking at Clayton Richard, he's at 199 innings and he's got 3 days off before the last day of the season, and you're playing a team that it's not going to be a playoff implicating game, which it won't be in San Francisco. I'm perfectly fine if he feels good getting on the mound for one more inning to get him to that personal milestone. Outside of that, I don't see us like juggling things lineup-wise. I think probably everybody on this team is going to see another day off before it's said and done. And I'd probably steal one of Will's opportunities to get to 30, but he's going to have plenty of opportunities to get there, and I think just go out and play winning baseball.
Oh, great to see the skipper is still dedicated on winning games, trying to get everybody there at bats, but he's not totally immune to trying to help some guys get to their milestones. Who knows? You might see Clayton Richard coming out of the bullpen in San Francisco. But tonight, Jhoulys Chacín's got a chance to get his ERA into the 3s. That's one milestone for him. It'll be Chacín versus Bettis. Game 3 coming up. Padres looking to take the series right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
He has got that baseball dicing and slicing home plate. Jhoulys Chacín with the slider. We know that can be nasty.
Chacín's feeling it right now. Reynolds does not like it.
Very, very good for Jhoulys Chacín.
All down by way of the K. Now Jhoulys Chacín trying to keep that going here tonight against the Colorado Rockies on a beautiful night for baseball. Time now for our weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 69 degrees to get it started. A northwest breeze at 8 miles per hour on the forecast fair for the remainder of the night. Not a cloud in the sky as we get it started here tonight in San Diego. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Bob Scanlon with you. Game 3 of the 4-game series between the Padres and the Rockies. And some very important games here for Bud Black and the Colorado Rockies. We check out the Rockies lineup, brought to you by Hyundai. Charlie Blackmon leading it off and in center field with DJ LeMahieu at second base. Carlos Gonzalez in right field with Nolan Arenado at third base. Gerardo Parra's in left with Trevor Story at shortstop. Ian Desmond is at first base for the second straight night. Jonathan Lucroy does the catching, and Chad Bettis out of the 9 spot is the pitcher for the Rockies. On the hill is Jhoulys Chacin. An effective slider, a 132 opponent batting average against that slider. Very good.
Yeah, he's been dynamite at home. His final start at home.
First pitch of the ball game in there for a strike to Charlie Blackmon. Outfield set up straight away here on Blackmon. And that's in there for strike 2. Blackmon at 327, 35 home runs, 95 runs batted in. It's had a relatively quiet series here against the Padres so far. 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout, 0 for 8 in the series.
Timing's everything, isn't it? Because over the course of the year, 369 average for Blackmon against the Padres this season. One and two, the count to Blackmon with LeMahieu waiting on deck. You know, a key for any pitcher also to avoid a 3-ball count. I know that might be asking a lot sometimes, but boy, if he can get early results, first 3 pitches of an at-bat, be economical with his pitches, be a good thing for Jhoulys. He's been fun to watch this year.
His 31st start of the year, looking for his 13th win of the season. And a grounder back to him. Fields his position very well and flips to first base for out number 1. Check out the Padres defensively tonight, brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. Left to right in the outfield, Travis Jankowski in left, Manuel Margot in center. Hunter Renfroe in right. 9 assists this season, second among rookies for Renfroe out there in right field. Corey Spangenberg's at third. Jan Hervis Solarte at short with Carlos Eswaje at second base. Will Myers at first. And Austin Hedges doing the catching tonight for Jhoulys Chacin. 1 down in the first, and it brings up DJ LeMahieu. Second baseman and the reigning batting title winner a year ago in the National League. This year the average still up over 300, hit 348 to win it last year. This year hitting at 312 with 8 homers and 64 runs batted in. 1 for 8 in the series with 3 strikeouts. "19 times this year he's had 3 or more hits in a game, tied for second in the National League in that category. Sit safely in 26 of the last 29 games and hit a .319 in the last 29 contests. The everyday second baseman for the Rockies. Three and one.
Pretty good movement on that two-seam fastball, and with LeMahieu in the box, they've got the DJ shift on. Right center and left center are covered. Here we go. Okay, there, and you know what? Look at that, straight up the middle.
And ball 4. Down to first base goes LeMahieu. First base runner to reach tonight for the Rockies. A free pass. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Don't bet on Bettis. Boy, he has been really struggling lately. 13 earned runs in his last 10 1/3. First 3 road starts of the season, and last home start, best start for Jhoulys Chacin. Great home numbers. We talked about it in our pregame and in our game open, and it's worth mentioning again. Finish off strong for the last one at home.
1 down, LeMahieu at first base, and here is Carlos Gonzalez, the open stance from the left side. The Padres defensively in the infield are shifting. But they keep it tight to the infield. The double play possibilities. And Spangenberg, third baseman, joining the cast on the right side.
You want to go numbers tonight, Donnie, or carrots?
I'll go numbers. I like numbers last night.
There you go.
There you go.
And then fourth on that side.
How far can you count? Do you know?
It's infinity.
Oh, really?
It's infinite. I can load up the screen if you want.
That's okay. The truck was actually very funny. Sorry, I was not laughing at you.
Of course you weren't.
No. They said you probably could get up to about 6.
Yeah, really?
That's funny.
Yeah.
One out, one on. In the dirt. And Hedges able to block it. 2-1. Center fielder Manuel Margot over towards left center. Lots of room out there in right center. With his start tonight, Chacin tying Clayton Richard for the number of starts on the year, 31. He made 31 starts in 2011 and 2013, but on the other side and in a Colorado Rockies uniform. And 12 wins he has to this point of the year, second most he's ever had. Had 14 wins back in 2013, and that was also as a member of the Colorado Rockies. Now one on, and Carlos Gonzalez here battling. He has hit 13 home runs on the year and back in the 3 spot now for the Rockies, who's hitting down in the order. Of course, struggled a lot of the beginning of the season as he lunges at this and fouls it back to the screen. Full count.
It's exactly what I'm talking about with Chacin. 3-1, a fastball count. He flips up a slider. That's how confident he is in that pitch. Tried to backdoor that one. Sure, he got a piece of it, fouled it back, but it was good location away. Didn't leak over the heart of the plate. See if they send the runner right here. He's got good action, ground ball guy. Stay out of the double play possibly.
Looks like they're trying to come in here with the fastball and fouling it off into the seats just beyond the dugout for the Rockies. So Gonzalez climbing back in here, full count, 3-2. And a liner to center field. Margot coming in. He'll make the catch. Look towards first, see if he can maybe double off LeMahieu, but he didn't get that far off the bag. Margot making a good catch coming in on the liner that was kind of slicing on him. 2 down.
Good read by Manuel. And Don, you're absolutely right. Where he was playing a little bit on the shortstop side off the left-handed bat, the ball slicing. The slice. Got an eye on it. Two-handed grab. Very nice.
So 2 down here in the first inning. LeMahieu still at first base, and it brings up Nolan Arenado. Homered off. Jordan Lyles going the other way. Rockies didn't get their first hit last night until the 5th inning. .306 average. That was home run number 35 of the year. 126 runs batted in. Jordan Lyles did not allow a hit until the 5th inning.
Yeah, he was locked in early. He was hitting his spots, staying out of the heart of the plate. After all told, 7 punch outs. He walked 2. a victim of the solo home run.
You have 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mayhew at first, 2 down here in the Rockies' first inning. And a grounder, right side, kind of fought it off. Aswahe will boot it at second base. That hit hard, and Aswahe with the error at second. Allows the inning to continue.
Yeah, we all know that that's a play that's got to be made, and nobody feels worse now than Carlos. You can see by his reaction off the end of the glove. He looked it into his glove, just hit the wrong part of the glove.
Two on, 2 down, and Gerardo Parra. 322, 10 homers, 69 runs batted in. One kind of sails on him up and away, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And the scary thing about this lineup we talked about, it's so deep. You know, you give them a free out like that, and they can do some damage. That's the scary thing you got to be concerned about.
Yeah, you can't afford to give them extra outs. 0 for 8 in the series so far against the Padres. The guys had a pretty quiet series, but ahead here in the count, 2-0. Good numbers against Chacin. A 310 average coming in. Pretty good sample size and 29 ABs. On the ground, foul, and it's 2-1.
Good spot for that changeup for Parra. 2-0, and once again pitching backwards. Very confident in all of his pitches anytime.
Well, the Rockies with the win here last night ended a 4-game losing streak, in which time they had scored just 6 runs. They're having a tough time coming up with some runs, and last night able to do that and snap that 4-game losing streak. Foul back, and it evens at 2-2. The Rockies have won 11 of 17 games against the Padres this year in the season series. They've averaged up over 6 runs a game against the Padres, 6.2 to be exact. Magic number right now is 8 for Bud Black's Rockies, going right down to the wire here on this wild card scenario. 2-2 grounded foul. We'll do it again.
See where the Cubs lost a heartbreaker today?
What was the final there?
Milwaukee. The final, I can get you that. I just heard that they lost.
Brewers winning 4-3 against the Cubs today.
That's
we'll get
it.
you a game break perhaps later. Show you some highlights from that game.
There it is. Just like I said.
You were all over it.
Oh. It's great.
Parra fights it off foul. I think in analyst camp they'll probably go over recaps. I would think that's so important. Actual details, some facts.
Does it really matter though? That's called like a tease. So stay tuned for the 4-3 victory of the Brewers over the Cubs. Rather than going into detail, because that's not my job.
Is it because you didn't know the details, or because you didn't feel like going into the details?
I think Wade Davis gave it up.
Huh? 2-2. He is in the air. Back at third. Shallow left. Jankowski headed towards foul ground. In fair ground. He'll make the catch right before the line to end the inning. Rockies strand a pair. Padres are coming up. Green looking to bounce back here tonight for the Padres in Game 3 of the series. We check out the Padres lineup brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Manuel Margot leading it off at 272 on the year with Carlos Suaje at second base, Will Myers at first, Yangervis Solarte at short, Hunter Renfroe in right with Corey Spangenberg at third base, Austin Hedges doing the catching again tonight with Travis Jankowski in the lineup and in left field. Jhoulys Chacín, the pitcher, bats out of the 9 spot. And tonight the Padres dealing with Chad Bettis. He's had a rough go of it so far in his 8th start of the year. First pitch in there for strike 1 to Margot.
Well, for Chad Bettis, the strength, he's got a really good changeup, ineffective fastball, too much of the plate, hitting at 378, making his 8th start. The battle with testicular cancer started last year, November of 16. It's an amazing story what he's went through to get back to where he is. He's one of those guys you got to root for, quite honestly.
Comes in at 1-3 on the season, a 6.23 earned run average. 8th start of the year for the right-hander.
He's lost a few ticks off the fastball. I mean, that could be crucial. So that means that you really have to locate.
To right field, and Gonzalez moves over to make the catch. Sharply hit, but Gonzalez runs over and makes the grab. Well, let's check out the Rockies defensively tonight. Left to right across the outfield, Gerardo Parra, Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez. Third to first, Nolan Arenado. Trevor Story, 11 errors this season. That's tied for 4th most in the National League. DJ LeMahieu at second, Ian Desmond at first, and Jonathan Lucroy does the catching for Chad Bettis. 1 out here in the first, and it brings up Carlos Suaje. That's a strike on the outside corner. Bettis has allowed 13 earned runs in 10 1/3 innings in his first 3 road starts of the year. And Suaje did go. This is Chris Conroy, third base umpire. Last time out, Bettis lost to the Diamondbacks. That was on Thursday, 7-0. Gave up 5 runs in just 1/3 of an inning. He's coming off a very tough outing. He's got some extra rest prior to tonight's start. Worked out on some mechanical issues. I imagine this first inning very important if you only won 1/3 last time out.
No question about it. I mean, it's in every pitcher's mind. You want to go deep into the game, but no worse feeling than when you can't get out of the first or second inning your previous start. One thing's for sure, he works quickly, trying to find that groove. I've always been a firm believer in that. I mean, you can't find it right out of the gate, but if you maintain that tempo, and I'm not saying being quick with your mechanics, you got to slow those down and keep them under control. But I mean, get in the ball, get up on the hill, and go to work. None of this lollygagging around, because when you lollygag, you know what that makes you?
It makes you a lollygagger. Swing and a miss, and striking out is a Suaje. 2 down here on the bottom of the first strikeout for Bettis. So 2 down. Will Myers coming up. Myers hitting at 240, 28 home runs, 72 runs batted in. Check swing, did he go? No, says first base umpire Jerry Meals.
I think Chad Bettis got squeezed right there. Good for Will Myers. Take a good hack right here, 2-0 if he gets something fat right down the middle.
Take strike 1, 2-1. Myers now, the inning continues. Yangervis Solarte waiting on deck with 2 away. Myers fouls it back, full count. Against Bettis, Myers with good numbers, 6 for 14. 4 extra base hits, including a home run. 4.29 average against Chad Bettis. Hooks it foul outside of third and into the seats. Myers lights this down the left field line to the corner. Myers thinking too as Parra digs it out, and Myers into second base with a 2-out double. Right down the line into that left field corner.
Foot is down, hands are back. He's out in front. My goodness, way up in front of the box after all is done on that swing. Even the Gold Glover Arenado can't get to it. An easy double. Will Myers cruises into second base. Sorry about the 2-out knock.
Don Hervis Solarte standing in on the left side against the right-hander Chad Bettis. Little dribbler down the first baseline. Bettis is going to field and throw, and he gets him at first base. Nice play by Desmond. Myers left at second. We're scoreless after 1. Game break, and last night the Dodgers finally wrapped up the National League West as a 4-2 victory against the Giants. They clinched. Dave Roberts and Bob Guerin celebrating, as so did the Dodgers last night. NL West champions headed to the postseason. Took a little longer than I think most thought, especially where they were at. Going through such a tough stretch, and a look now at the West that has been wrapped up, and the wild card scenario. These Rockies now have a 1.5 game lead over the Cardinals and Brewers. So that's kind of big today too, with some teams losing while the Rockies had yet to play tonight. So they actually bettered their position while not playing today.
Yeah, you look at other teams that are going to be in the hunt. The Washington Nationals 92 wins going into today, so it still looks like the Dodgers with games to play. You know, that home field advantage. That's always something to play for, even when you clinch. But you're right. I thought they were going to, with the way they were going, it was going to be the first week of September.
The Dodgers are 2 wins shy of 100. They have 98 right now. Yeah, I'm going to miss. Story goes lunging after that.
He probably got that pretty much locked up as well.
So Mayhew at second in the first inning. Arenado was at first when Parra flat out to left field, and Chassin get out of the jam, and Rockies stranded a pair in the first. Little pop-up foul off to the right. We'll have you cover the game break that's coming up. The dramatic Milwaukee Chicago conclusion today. The Cubs and Brewers going head to head, and you told us a little bit about it, but you'll be able to handle the recap.
Yeah, stay tuned to
Game
that
break.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
1-2 pitch. And a fly ball headed to shallow left field. Out goes Solarte. In comes Jankowski. It'll be Jan Hervis, the shortstop out there, short left. Route number 1. It's time now for game break and Mark Grant.
Let's go to Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the Cubs trying to seal the deal. Wade Davis on the hill. Travis Shaw, a walk-off home run in the 10th. And the Brewers go home happy, 4-3. They're jumping in Sheboygan. Exciting win for the Brewers.
Been a big year for Travis Shaw. Big part of what they've been able to accomplish there in Milwaukee and what has been a great year for the Brewers, regardless of what happens the rest of the way. I don't think anybody expected them to do very much at all.
Nope. Going into today's game, before that game, 2 games out in the wild card behind St. Louis, a game and a half, the Redbirds.
Desmond sends this down the right field line, headed foul. Off the wall down the right field line, but to the right of the pole. 322 marker down there. Center fielder Manuel Margot over towards right center.
There's Manuel.
Chassin was 38-48 in 109 starts, 124 games for the Rockies. 2009 through 2014 when he was in Colorado. And a 3.78 ERA. It's pretty good considering his home games were at Coors Field. Ground ball to third, a high hopper for Spangenberg. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
So 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Jonathan Lucroy, catcher who has started all 3 games so far this series. Lucroy 3 for 7 so far in the series and had a big game last night, 3 for 4 with an RBI. Fly ball headed out towards right field. Hunter Renfroe moves over and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 second inning for Jhoulys Chacin. No score after an inning and a half.
It's been awesome. We were trying to work through in our head if we had the ability to like run like for Hispanic Heritage Day to run a whole Latin team out there and let them play. And we do. We could pull it off. And like we pulled off with bullpen options, pulled off with the starter option, throw Chacin today. We can almost run Team Venezuela out there. We have so many Venezuelans. So I love the diversity. I love the life in the clubhouse, and it comes from a lot of cultures coming together. It's a fun group of guys that have enjoyed playing together this year.
That's the Padres skipper Andy Green talking about Hispanic Heritage Weekend here at San Diego and the fact that this clubhouse has been a great blend of Latin players and American players. Currently 14 players of Latin heritage on this roster right now. And in talking to every one of these guys, they said it's been a lot of fun. There's been a great assimilation between these two cultures. And Yangervis Solarte said, yeah, even some of the American guys are starting to learn a little Spanish and learning some of his salsa moves, guys. So a lot of harmony in that clubhouse.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun all season long. And it's interesting as the year goes along, a lot of the veteran guys that take the younger guys under their wing when they arrive here too, that have been at the major league level, even not all that long. This is inside a Renfroe.
To me, Yangervis Solarte is the life of the party. I mean, he's
definitely that.
He's awesome. He's fun to be around. He plays the game like a kid. Very serious about his work ethic. We know that.
Trevor Story, deep short. Throw is in time to get Hunter Renfroe for the first out here of the second inning.
And it's also nice to see, as Bob mentioned, to see the maturity of these guys, the young Latin players at the big league level and having some success. Hey, there's going to be bumps on the road. We all know that. And to see that kid on the left, to Nelson Lamet, talking with Luis Torrens on the right. Man, he's been fun to watch. Look at the eye black for Hector Sanchez.
I mean, night when he's not starting.
It's just little stuff like that that to me it's amusing. I mean,
he's ready.
Yeah.
Jose Pirello, who had such a great year this year for the Padres. There's a ground ball off the bat of Spangenberg right to LeMahieu at second base. 2 down here in the second. Two down in the second. It brings up Austin Hedges. Hedges 210, 18 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Bettis falling behind here, 3-0. Ground ball outs in a row. Final out of the first inning. First 2 outs of the second inning for Bettis. Good start for him. And that's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Austin Hedges. First free pass served up by Chad Bettis in his outing. We'll talk about the long road back for Bettis. Was battling cancer and then starting his rehab stint in July, the 13th of July. AA Hartford is where it all started for him. 6 minor league games, 5 starts for him between Hartford and AAA Albuquerque. Now he's made 8 starts at the big league level, and coming into tonight's game, 1-3. There's ball 1, and that is 5 straight balls in a row. So Lucroy going out there to talk to Bettis. Jankowski checking in, hitting at 172 on the year.
Nice pick right there by Jonathan Lucroy. It was one of those like a first baseman. No time to even get down to the knees to block it with the chest protector. A straight pick, a la first baseman style.
2-0 coming up here to Jankowski. And there's a strike after 6 straight balls. 2-1. On the ground foul outside of third.
That's what Andy Green, the skipper of the Padres, was talking about Travis and what to expect from the Padre outfielder. Hard ground balls, hard line drive, spraying the ball all over the field. He had the right intent on that one, although it was foul. Tough to get it by Arenado at third base, so he is playing off the bag though.
Chop foul over by the Padres dugout into it.
Yeah, Major League McGuire throwing that souvenir up into the stands. There he is. Major League McGuire right there. He's a major leaguer.
Short lead at first base for Hedges, held on by Desmond. Jankowski with a patient at bat here. It's gone full, 3-2. It's got 2 quick outs. Renfroe to ground out, Spangenberg to ground out, and the walk to Hedges. Now 3-2 pitch coming up here to Jankowski. Hedges can get a start at first base. And a grounder right side, and that'll make its way into right field. Hedges keeps on going, takes third base, and it's first and third now, 2 down.
Oh, who doesn't love the 18 hopper on the pull side for Jankowski for a big league night to go first and third. 2 outs, cracking the bat. He is gone. Now what's nice about this is don't shut your toolbox with Chassin coming up to the plate. He can swing the shillelagh now.
Steve Foster, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Chad Bettis. .235, no homers, 4 runs batted in, 12 for 51, the breakdown for Chassin. Showing bunt and then jumping back out of the way of a strike.
First pitch curveball.
In the dirt that time, 1-1. Bettis pitching his way into a jam here after getting 2 quick outs. A walk and a single, first and third. Padres left. Myers at second base in the first inning, and now Bettis trying to get out of another jam here, dealing with the Padres pitcher. This happens to be a pretty good hitter. And Chassin lifts a fly ball out to center field. Over goes Charlie Blackmon to make the catch. That ends the inning. Done with 2 without a score tonight from Petco Park. here prior to the ball game in the tailgate lot here, and tailgating with San Diego Padres fans along with San Diego legends. It was a great deal of fun here at Petco Park, and Charlie Joyner was part of that fun. Hall of Famer Charlie Joyner joins us. Great to see you. Thanks for coming up.
Good seeing you. Thank you
Appreciate
very much.
it.
Thank you very
How you doing,
much.
number 18?
Oh, the number 18 is doing very good right now.
It's good to see you.
It's, you know, I don't know. You know, sooner or later the Chargers are going to put somebody in that number 18, and I hope he's a damn good football player.
Well, it was a lot of fun to have a lot of the San Diego legends out there today and celebrating sports in San Diego. It seems like you had a lot of fun too.
Oh, I did have a lot of fun. I'll tell you, like I was telling the people before that when I first got traded to San Diego, I came out here and for one of those weekend trips, and I told my wife that night when I talked to her on the phone, you won't believe this place. So you might as well just start packing everything right now, because this is where we're going to be living. And since that, 34, 35 years ago, we are still here, and we always will be here. Because San Diego is our home now, and there's not a better place in the United States to live.
Charlie, talk about those days with Don Coryell, Eric Coryell, and the teams that you had. I mean, you fielded some great teams. Catching the ball from Dan Fouts all those years, and your recollection of the great times on the gridiron.
I'll tell you, when Don Coryell took over, he put together the offense, and he put together a team that could score points and can also keep people from running the football a lot, to keep the ball away from the offense. And we had a great run defense team and a great pass offense team. And it kind of gelled. And when it gels, you score a lot of points, you create a lot of excitement, you get a lot of people in the stands. And people, you know, expect a lot of things from you then. And of course, we didn't win a Super Bowl or anything, but we did have a great time getting to those playoff games. We did have a good time getting to those AFC championship games that we didn't win. But we had a good time doing it. And you know, we fought. You know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But Don Coryell created excitement. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why he's not. But he created an excitement within the league because everybody is using his offensive scheme. Everybody's using Don Coryell's offensive scheme now. And they're telling me that, you know, guy didn't win a Super Bowl, why should he be a Hall of Fame coach? That's not the criteria. The criteria is your contribution to pro football.
Kind of revolutionized that style of football play, did he not?
He sure did. You know, he you know, everybody, you know, San Francisco, when they had those great years, it didn't, you know, everybody who threw the ball a lot. I mean, you know, those receivers now, they should be worshiping Coryell, because he's the reason that you're throwing the ball 40 times a game, huh? Yeah, he's the reason.
Do you have a favorite season during your time in San Diego, looking back on your career? One that stands out more than the others?
Favorite season? I think it was '78. But we were playing Denver on a Monday night game, last game of the year, Monday night. The winner goes to the AFC Championship. I mean, winner wins the AFC Western Division. The loser does not even make the playoffs. And we both had pretty good records, but back then there wasn't no wild cards.
Right.
And we came out of that game and we beat Denver, and John Jefferson was hurt. And we had a ton of guys hurt, you know, and they got hurt during the season. I got hurt during the game. That's the way it goes. But we came out a winner, and that was, I tell you, that's a memorable game to me. That's a memorable game, winning that AFC Western Division championship that night.
I've got to ask you, did you play in the Ice Bowl game?
Yes.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Take us back from when you guys traveled, because I don't want to take the story away, but the day you traveled there, it was a nice day, and then take it over from there.
Okay. The day we go into Cincinnati for the AFC championship game, I mean, we think Kellen Winslow and our roommates in those days, and we're looking out of the window of the hotel, and we think, boy, it's going to be a great day tomorrow. I'll tell you, right around 6 or 7 o'clock, it started getting cooler and cooler and cooler. And I want to tell you, by the time 1 o'clock rolled around the next morning, it was 60 below zero. And I'm saying, what happened? All of us, I mean, you know, it just happened, you know. Just a turnaround. Just a cold wind came, the northerner came, and within a 12-hour period, it went from from 60 degrees to 60 below. And that's pretty drastic, you know, for Southern California
That
team.
must have been unbelievable for
Yeah.
you guys to deal with that.
That was kind of hard. That was kind of hard to handle. Me myself, I believe they shouldn't have played that game because it's a death threat, not just to players, but also to what?
Absolutely.
To the fans. I think that game should have been canceled and played in New Orleans or some neutral site Monday night. But they wouldn't do it because Paul Brown was kind of powerful, you know. You know, he had the home field advantage. He said, I ain't getting away with my home field advantage. He wouldn't give it away, and I don't blame him.
Charlie, thanks for joining us.
We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. You're welcome. Okay.
Park in San Diego as we head to the bottom of the third inning, and leading it off is Manuel Margot, and Coach Steve Fisher joining us here as part of Celebrate San Diego night. Great to see you, Coach. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you very much. Proud to be here.
This one is sent out to center field where Blackman is there to make the catch.
Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great.
How was the crowd out there? How was that received by the former coach?
The crowd was great. You know, we went to the pep rally that they had,
Right.
and they had 6 of us on stage. And I told the crowd when I went out, each of us talked for about a minute. I said, you know what I did? I'm looking at him. I said, you know what I did? I pulled out my ticket. I said, I got each one of these Hall of Famers to sign my ticket, and I'm going to frame it. I said, I'm honored to be here with you. And it was very neat.
Are you going to miss being on the sidelines? And I'm sure, you know, you're going to consult and people are going to be in your ear and ask you about certain things to do because of your expertise. But are you going to miss the daily grind of it all and as far as the coaching?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, 50 years I've been doing it. You could have been one of my stars. If I'd have had you, I might still be coaching.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'll miss it, but it was the right time and the right thing for me and Angie. You know, my decisions were always made in conjunction with her, and we did it for all the right reasons.
Well, it's going to be weird, I imagine, when you get towards the season and it starts up again. What are you going to do to fill your time? I mean, are you going to still be around the program and go to the games and stuff like that?
I will go to all the games. I told them one thing I had to have was four good tickets and a parking pass in the L lot, the premier parking lot. I'm still working part-time at the university, so
Okay.
And Mark, my son, is still going to coach, so I take him in every day. And then some days I'll go to my office, which is now in the Alumni Center, hang around the office and pester everybody. I watch some of the workouts. Don't say anything, but I'm gonna be around.
Coach, you were so influential to a lot of kids that came through San Diego State. Who was influential to you in your days when you were growing up, coming up from Herrin, Illinois, which I'm a big fan of, by the way?
I
from Joliet.
appreciate that.
But who was influential in your career, in your coaching days?
My dad and my junior high coach really were the ones that got me saying, this is what I want to do. So I give, my dad, that's all he wanted to do. Work the job that he had to work to pay a mortgage and raise 4 kids. all he wanted to do was what I had the privilege to do, and I've taken it very personal that it's a privilege to do what I did, be a teacher and a coach for 50 years. And the gentleman that hired me for my first job, Les Whitkey, then he hired me for my first college job. Then when I had the opportunity to go to Michigan and work for Bill Frieder. So I think all of those folks had an imprint on who I am as a coach.
I know you've had so many different players during the course of your career, but are there some players that I would say left the most lasting impression with you? Someone that really stuck out to you that maybe taught you some things about things you didn't know perhaps in the game?
Well, I think all of them have an impact one way or another. Sure. And I don't want to single any out individually, but I take great pride in who they were and now who they've become. I remember John Wooden, I was at a clinic and somebody said, Coach, what kind of team, what kind of players you're going to have? And he said, give me 20 years and I'll tell you. And if I look back at the guys I had 20 years ago, with great pride, I talk about them.
A base hit here from Myers, 2 on with 1 away. Part of our San Diego Legends night here at Petco Park in San Diego, and all throughout the first pitch here as part of a ceremony before the ball game as well earlier on tonight.
How's the wing feeling, Coach?
I said it. If they get this right, I almost threw as hard as Hoffman did. My neighbor right to the side of me.
Pretty good.
Proud of my pitch. I was very proud of my pitch.
Very good.
You should be. Did you play ball as a kid? Was baseball one of your loves growing up?
In Southern Illinois, absolutely. I was on the Elks Little League All-Star team. That my claim to fame is we beat Ray Fosse's Marion, Illinois team, as he was the catcher and star of Southern Illinois.
Very cool. What position did you play?
I was shortstop.
Of course, you're the best athlete on the team.
No, I wasn't the best athlete, but I was probably the smartest. If I have to toot my own heart a little bit.
Now 1 down, runners at first and second. Steve Fisher joining us here in the booth tonight and celebrating San Diego tonight, as did prior to the season and doing here towards the end of the year. And it was great to see all the fans out there today. A great group coming here before the ball game, part of the tailgate party, and it seemed like a lot of fun out there today.
It was great fun. I think the atmosphere that you guys create, that the Padres create for the community, it rubs off on all of us. In my time at San Diego, no one has been more welcoming to me and to us than the San Diego Padres, and we're very appreciative of that.
And it's very exciting what Coach Long is doing, right?
No question. He's doing a fabulous job.
Did you see the weather up in Colorado Springs at Air Force?
We were watching it up in Ron Fowler's booth before we went on. Crazy. Sideways rain.
Yeah.
I think like last week when the lights went out in Petco, or lights went out in San Diego Stadium, they suspended the game. It has to have been suspended for well over an hour.
2 on, 1 away, and Solarte will line one to left. Parra makes the catch, below the cap high for out number 2. So what do you expect from this college basketball season coming up? What do you think is going to happen for this year's edition of the Aztecs? I know you've stepped away a little bit, but what do you think the season's going to bring this year for them?
I'm very excited about what we have the potential to be. Have to be careful that I don't embellish too much and talk too highly about us, but we're going to be good. I say that every year, but we've got a real good blend of veterans and newcomers that our fans will be excited to watch.
Got to be
pro chasing that pitch.
Got to be excited for Coach Dutcher also, right? Handing it over.
Very excited. Coach Dutcher and I have been together since 1988.
Wow.
With 1 year off. And in any world line of business, that doesn't happen, but especially in athletics. So we have been in that same trench on the same team since 1988. So it's his turn, and in his time, he will do great.
And what was he doing in 1988?
Both of us were at Michigan as assistants.
Okay.
He was a young graduate assistant.
Okay.
Or right after his graduate assistant year. And I was one of the assistants.
And of course, the championship in '89. And Coach Frieder went to Arizona State. And then you took over. Unbelievable story.
crazy things happen in sports, and they always happen to someone else, the good stuff. And all of a sudden, I hit that brass ring on the merry-go-round, and it happened to me. I got very, very lucky when it happened with some great players, and we win the national championship.
Coach Frieder still lives here in San Diego, correct?
He does. He does. He and I remain very good friends. We talk every day, see one another quite often. He's the fixture at Aztec games. You never know where he's going to be. All of a sudden, I looked around one game, he's in the huddle on the bench.
El Suaje at second, Myers at first with 2 down here, and a count of 1-2 to Hunter Renfroe. And a little number in front of the plate. That is a fair ball, and Renfroe will be out number 3 of the inning. Coach Fisher, we thank you so much for coming up. Great to see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Always good to see both of you.
Good to see you, Coach. Be well.
Take care. Thank you.
We are scoreless, Rockies and Padres. Fourth inning back at Petco Park in San Diego. Beautiful night for baseball. The Padres and Rockies, game 3 of the series. Mark Sweeney alongside with us, another San Diego legend here tonight.
Absolutely.
We've had 3 in a row. Charlie Joyner,
hey, that
Keith
is
Fisher,
so
and now
funny.
Mark Sweeney is here.
That is so funny.
So we welcome you.
Hey, listen, I peaked in Little League. I say that to everyone. That's where I peaked. Everything else is a blur.
Well, a cool night here tonight, celebrating some of the legends in San Diego and bringing them together to celebrate sports in San Diego on a tailgate event outside the ballpark prior to the game, and legends enjoying a big league ball game tonight.
I love that, and there are legends. Obviously, Coach Fisher. I love hearing Coach Fisher's stories.
Isn't he great?
Unbelievable.
I love that man.
He's a great ambassador, definitely for the city of San Diego as well.
It sounds like he's going to be involved moving forward here and be around, that's for sure, which is great.
The impression I get from Coach Fisher is that he came to San Diego State in all his coaching days. He's almost like an extension of your dad. He takes these kids in, coaches them, but wants to be a big part of their life, not only on the court, but as a human being as well.
It's a fair ball, and Myers is retired.
You know, speaking of legends, Coach Fisher, Charlie Joyner, and Marshall Falk, Don Orsillo's on his way to becoming a legend. Why? Because we put his work on the softball field to music. Sit back and listen. Enjoy.
Oh my.
It's not so graceful.
I mean, I don't know what to say about
That
that.
is sweet music.
That was the whole day pretty much there in a video.
I mean,
Wow.
that was incredible.
The first step quickness is not what it once was. And that play at second base was right there. The whole decision not to run to third. Right for your eyes.
Your quads were in left and your hamstrings were hanging right before second base.
It was quite a day. I'm still sore, by the way.
I love how you yelled at the umpire. That's my favorite.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I was getting squeezed. I mean, down the middle doesn't count.
The softball has to come down.
I know. I was told the shoulder or something.
Shoulder.
I don't know.
And you didn't even know the rules, but you were still yelling.
Still. It was fun, though. I had a good time. I really did. I did not know the entire day was being documented, though, from the time I got off the bus.
To music.
No, to music. I can't wait for the next game.
You're already ready.
Yes, swing and a miss here. Arenado strikes out, second strikeout.
Well, we talk about players going from first to third. How about scoring from third base? Enjoy Don Orsillo.
Tagging up and coming playward. And he's in, safe. That was not real time. That was definitely slowed down. Oh, he had a great day. Appreciate RJ, Norm Sherry, for getting me in the lineup as quickly as possible because I was nervous. And they got me in the second inning right away to get out there and get my first inning under my belt. Everything was great until Mark Sweeney made a key error at first base, which led to 2 unearned runs.
But you're gonna skip Archie and Franco.
You know, the more I thought about Archie's, that was pretty sharply hit, and I felt like Archie, you know, it could have gone either way. So I really can't point to him and say that there was a big error. You, on the other hand, I would say was just a boot.
Sure was.
If that ball, if Mark Sweeney got in front of that ball that was hit, he would have been on the warning track in right field.
With the ball?
No,
that's where the ball ended up.
The ball ended up on the warning track. And the grass was really thick. So it was
skin infield.
It was a tough infield, too. I noticed some
infield.
tough bounces. But it was an error, no matter how you cut it. This is E3.
Well, after we talk about the error, let's go back to that running style.
It's different. It's at my own pace. I knew I had time because I was tagging up and the ball was actually pretty deeply hit to left field. And I want to make sure that I left on time. I didn't know if they review in softball or whether they would check that play out. This is driven to right field. Back goes Renfroe. Parr is out number 3 of the inning. A 1-2-3 fourth inning for Jhoulys Chacín. How not to tag up and score as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Rockies and Padres game 3 of the series, and coming up for the Padres, Corey Spangenberg going to lead it off, and it'll be Austin Hedges and Travis Jankowski scheduled to bat. Beautiful night, kind of twilight right now. Tough skies for the infielders and outfielders. Anything in the air. Spangenberg leads it off here, grounded out to second. First time up.
You know, Don, to your point, this is when you start seeing those playoff games and the different times because of just being on TV. It makes it very difficult for the fielders out there. A lot of communication has to happen this part of the game.
tell we're getting to that time of year too. It's getting darker a lot earlier.
Yeah, and they rub up the baseballs with that mud, right? So twilight, the ball off the bat, it's tough to pick up sometimes.
Yeah, as an outfielder, so many times it blends in, and it's usually after it gets over that third deck of the stadium, making it very difficult. So a lot of infielders will start pointing up and actually go out with the baseball.
And Spangenberg strikes out. That is strikeout number 2 for Chad Bettis. First down here of the 4th inning.
Carissa Thompson, Tony Gonzalez, Dave Wanstead, Colin Cowherd, and Michael Vick have all the latest breaking news and updates you need to start your football Sunday. Fox NFL kickoff tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific.
One out here in the 4th inning brings up Austin Hedges. He walked in the 2nd inning. Only free pass served up by Chad Bettis.
He's got a good feel for that curveball. That's a darn good pitch, the old number 2 for Bettis.
Talked a lot about the Rockies, and of course, one-game playoff. You would imagine, who's going to play in that game, the wild card game, or pitch in that game, I should say. But you go beyond that, you get some questions about their starting rotation. It appears going to postseason into a short series, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think this is the reason why this Chad Bettis start is very important for him and also the club. Remember last year, he was pitching very well right after the All-Star break, and they were starting to believe in. They're starting to formulate those guys. John Gray also pitched very well in the 2nd half. But this start really formulates what their plan is, because you have to look past that game. You have to believe you're going to beat them in that wild card game. And that has to be your mindset.
Anderson, Chatwood, Gray, Bettis. Talked about the one-game playoff, how you can't predict it. Did Greinke give up 7 runs the other day?
Opposite field, little bloop, and out of the reach of DJ LeMahieu into right field. Austin Hedges aboard here with his first hit. 2nd time he's been on tonight.
Mark Sweeney, I know hits at the big league level are hard to come by, right? You have no problem taking those, right?
No, that's a line drive.
How about the line drives that are caught by the third baseman, or they make the spectacular play? You will take those any day of the week.
Yeah, a lot of people will say they even out. They don't even out. And it's a lot of work. So embrace it. It's just like a win in the big leagues. Celebrate it.
One down, one on, and Travis Jankowski coming up here. Rockies at double play depth in the middle infield. And the fastball grabs the outside corner at 92. Outfield basically straight away, but double play depth in the infield. Travis singled to right field first time up. Foul ball outside of third. Andy Green was talking today before the game about kind of the crowded outfield situation going into next season. With the job that Pirela has done this season. Of course, you got Margot out there. You got Alex Dickerson coming back healthy next year after missing all of this year. I mean, it is kind of a crowded situation going into spring training.
Yeah, to me, that's the story. You saw Jose Pirela right there, which unfortunately he cannot play the rest of the year. Tremendous season, and that came out of nowhere. I think all of us weren't really expecting Jose Pirela to come on the scene and be that good offensively. Made himself into a very good outfielder, but I love that about baseball. You never know from year to year what's going to happen, and he is in the conversation, as Andy Green says.
And he was taken off the 40-man at one point and brought in as a minor league free agent signing. So it's a situation where they didn't expect it either. I think it was a surprise for the Padres as well.
Don, you mentioned a name that I'm anxious to see. Hopefully he's 100%, and that's Alex Dickerson.
On the right field line, and Gonzalez steps into foul ground to make the catch. It ends the 4th inning. To the 5th we go without a score.
talk about Jhoulys Chacín and the location, how important it is. Let's go back to Colorado. Look at where the glove is. Hector Sanchez right on the outside corner. Success. The glove, he wants it down and away here, right? Well, it leaks in, but still, it's a breaking ball. Mark Reynolds cannot catch up to it. Down and away where so many pitchers want to live. Uh-oh. When it's elevated to Trevor Story, that's what's happened. He's not overpowering. He does have good movement to both sides with the slider and the two-seamer. He's got to stay on those corners, live on the edge for Jhoulys Chacín.
Well, into the 5th inning we go. 59 pitches deep is Chacín at a 1-2-3 4th inning, and ready to work here in the 5th. Trevor Story, Ian Desmond, Jonathan Lucroy expected to bat here in the 5th inning. Rockies stranded a pair in the 1st inning. That's been about it for them. He did hit Charlie Blackmon in the 3rd inning with a pitch, but then he was caught stealing pretty quickly. Talked about it all season, but there seems to be something about the Petco Park mound that is different for Jhoulys Chacín. Let's pitch in here.
Yeah, I think you look at any sport, the home field advantage comes into play. I'm a firm believer of that. And when you narrow it down even a little bit more for a pitcher at home, and even though the splits are different, you know, it's 16 at home, roughly 16, 17 as far as his 31st start, right? It's half and half. But I just think there's something about being at home, the locker room, the route to the ballpark where you live. I think that all is in the equation.
And strikes out Story, 3rd K for Chacín, and it's time now for a game break and ready for a Little League home run. How about a bunt pit that turns into a home run for Brian Dozier? This one gets fired down the right field line. And the Tigers are running around trying to defend this. Nobody coming for a while, so Dozier just keeps on running, and he will score, coming all the way around.
Look like Castellanos in right field. He was the starting 3rd baseman at the beginning of the year. They want him out in the outfield, and he's in right, and he forgot to back up the play.
I was going to say, because it took a long time for anybody to get to that baseball.
I don't care if you're going to a new position. If you're an outfielder and you've watched the game, that's what you have to do. All the youngsters out there, there's a place to be when the ball's put in play.
And Desmond batting for the 2nd time tonight, grounded out to 3rd base in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chacín. 4-all. Let's check in with Bob Scanlon.
Don, you guys were talking about Alex Dickerson just a couple of outs ago. Good news. Had a good conversation with him yesterday. He is very happy with how his rehab is going after his back surgery. He had the same surgery when he was 16 years old, so he had to put in perspective how this rehab was going to go with a little bit older body, but he says everything is going in the right direction. Has there been some talk about winter ball? Not really. He says he'd rather wait and make sure that he's saving all those swings for spring training, but he expects to be healthy in spring and get his job back, guys. Good news.
All right, thanks very much, again. That is good news. Tried it a couple of different times this year early on before getting the back surgery, and I mean, he was penciled in to be a key factor, if not a starter, all season long in the outfield. Coming into this year, and ended up not at all.
You know what? You go back to Toronto last year, and the ball he hit in Toronto opened up a lot of eyes. And I'm not talking about a home run. Just talking about the sound of the bat, the way he was swinging the bat, and they were high praise, and deservedly so. So I think Alex Dickerson, if you watch him swing the bat, there's intent in the swing, but there's also damage. And I think, unfortunately, when you go through those injuries, you have to back up a little bit, and it's frustrating for younger players.
A lost season for him, but certainly looking forward to 2018. Swing and a miss, and Jhoulys Chacín strikes out the side. He's got 5 Ks now altogether. Trevor Story, Ian Desmond, Jonathan Lucroy, all down by way of the K. It's Padres baseball, brought to you by Mozzie Heating and Air, San Diego's choice for heating and cooling. By Father Joe's Villages, call 1-800-HOMELESS or visit neighbor.org to make a tax-deductible donation of cash, cars, or furniture. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup. Shop at choosenissan.com. Last half of the 5th inning. Top of the order for the Padres, Manuel Margot leading it off, then Carlos Suaje and Will Myers. Margot tonight has lined out to right, fly down to center.
Notice Bettis on the fastball, anywhere from 88 tonight to 93. So changing speeds. He is a little bit down on the velocity. Couple ticks down.
Pitch 75 for him. And it's on the ground up the middle into center field. A base hit for Manuel Margot.
Well, I tell you what, when you think about Manny Margot, the two-strike hitting really comes to mind. This fastball is boring in on his hands, and he fights it off. But that's the tough part, because you never know what you're going to try to attack with Manny Margot. It's that flat swing that stays in the strike zone so much, but also two-strike hitting can make him very frustrating as a hitter.
Lead runner on here for the Padres for the first time tonight as they bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Carlos Suaje coming up. He struck out and singled to left. Start of the year for Bettis, coming in 1-3 with a 6.23 ERA. Runner goes. Suaje grounds one back to the mound. Bettis took a look at second, but will go to first base for the out there. So right back at the pitcher Bettis. Suaje retired 1-3. Margot will take second on the fielder's choice.
That's a force play at second, and I think you want to get an out there. When in doubt, get an out. But I think Bettis had a chance to get Manuel. He didn't go in hard. He went up standing up. I mean, that's a force play. I think he had a chance to get him. But once again, I was always taught, even in Little League, when in doubt, get the out. Don't try to get too froggy and create a big inning.
Suaje retired at first base, 1-3. Padres so far tonight 0-for-4 with runners in scoring position. And there's Will Myers, who's 2-for-2 in the ball game.
Now you wonder if Bettis will even try to attack Will Myers because of the success he's had already tonight.
Myers came in 6-for-14, hitting at .429 in his career against Bettis. And tonight he's added a double and single, and taken off for third is Margot, and he's picked off at third base, caught trying to steal. Too good a jump, it appeared there.
Well, you see Nolan Arenado, he is looking towards second base, so he's not going to get fooled. And Bettis just steps off when he hears everyone yelling. Easy throw to third base, and nabs Margot. Trying to catch him napping, and they weren't.
Really fortunate he didn't injure his fingers going in there head first. We saw Jose Pirela injure his finger and be out for the remainder of the season. Same type of play there at third base.
A lot of times pitchers will balk on that because by surprise, step off, and then they jerk. They
kind of panic.
They kind of twitch a little bit, panic.
Pitch 80 for Bettis. Padres running into an out here. Leaving the bases now empty for Myers with 2 outs in the 5th. Here's a strike, 3-1. I think Manuel has the green light pretty much anytime he wants.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, most managers would like to see the choices they make on the base paths. And obviously that was very aggressive.
A 2-out walk here. Second walk given up by Bettis. Welcome to the deeper coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Francisco Lindor. It is 33rd versus the Mariners. Most home runs by a shortstop since 2008. And Hanley Ramirez, who was playing shortstop then, and Giancarlo Stanton getting a home run. 57 today against the Diamondbacks. Had 8 games remaining to reach his goal, which was 61 home runs. The old home run mark.
Well, Francisco Lindor, what an unbelievable shortstop he is. He plays the game with flair, flash, and a smile. Love that.
They're going to like the Cleveland Indians' chances heading into the postseason. And Here's Solarte batting here with 2 down and Myers at first. And then for a strike. I wonder how much, having been to the World Series last year and being so close, getting to Game 7, that experience will help a team that pretty much is the same, with the exception of Edwin Encarnacion going back for another run.
Yeah, and I don't have to tell you either. Terry Francona is a factor when it comes down to experience and being able to make the right moves, have the right conversations with a lot of these younger players that haven't experienced that. So I think that's a factor going into it. But to your point, they are hungry because of how they lost last year.
Two down, Myers at first, Solarte down 0-1. Bouncing in, gets away, and Myers will take second base. Lucroy couldn't block it, gets by him. It's a wild pitch.
Oh, Lucroy tries to get to the knees and do the old, rather than a backhand, kept his palm up. 390 feet.
Softly lined into center field. That's going to fall for a hit for Solarte. Here comes Myers, and the Padres take a 1-0 lead. Yangervis Solarte drives in his 62nd run. Padres have been 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. A base hit here puts the Padres on top.
Well, going into this inning, first through the 4th, the Padres have left 6 runners on base. Way too many. Manuel Margot fought off a base hit, right? He got jammed. Solarte fights one off. And the big fella Myers gets on the board for San Diego.
Pitching change here for Bud Black. Padres have a 1-0 lead. Brought to you by Nissan. Back at Petco Park in San Diego, where the Padres have just pushed across the game's first run. Padres on top 1-0. Pitching change here for the Rockies. After Chad Bettis went 4 2/3 innings, Carlos Estevez into the game now as this pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon 4.
Got called up September 1st from AAA Albuquerque. 8th appearance on the roster this season. So a little up and down for Carlos. His 31st game. High ERA, high splits. Inherits a runner.
Inherits Yangervis Solarte, who's at first base with 2 down, a run in. Solarte driving in. Padres' first run of the night.
Pretty much fastball slider from Estevez. He's got the fastball about 98, 97. He can bring it.
Well, for Hunter Renfroe in this situation, you're really calming your nerves. But if you're going to handle velocity, it has to be down in the strike zone. At times he elevates to try to go after that velocity fastball at the top of the strike zone. Gives him problems.
Takes the strike over the outside corner. How's 99 for you? Check swing foul. So it goes from 99 to a slider next at 89. Chad Bettis responsible for the runner at first in Solarte. Renfroe strikes out to end things here in the 5th inning. Padres do get a run, though. They take a 1-0 lead as Yangervis Solarte picks up his 62nd RBI of the year with a single to center. Scores Myers, and the Padres lead it 1-0.
Man the strike zone and how he's done it in different ways. Conventional on the left and a quick pitch on the right, both producing the strikeouts. 5 on the night. But if you go with the quick pitch and you do the slider to Ian Desmond, that'll mess up the timing of the hitters, and he has been doing that tonight. That's a good sign. He looks very comfortable.
Well, a 1-0 lead now with which to work for Jhoulys Chacín. Mike Tuckman is pinch hitting in the pitcher's spot. And Takes a strike over the outside corner. 70 pitches here for Chacín. Dealing with the first hitter of the 6th inning. Tuckman came off the bench last night, too, in Game 2 of the series. It's been a 5 strikeout night for Chacín. He's walked 1, hit a batter. Jumps ahead here, 1-2. Center fielder Manuel Margot over towards left center. Good size gap out in right center. In there for strike 3. 4 strikeouts in a row for Chacín. 1 down here in the 6th inning.
High two-seamer comes back and gets him. That's inner third. That's a legit strike.
Closed captioning brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. 1 out here in the 6th. Top of the order. Charlie Blackmon coming up. He has grounded back to the mound and been hit by a pitch. And after being hit by a pitch, quickly was erased trying to steal second base. Best opportunity for the Rockies, really the first inning. They had 2 on with 2 down, and Chacín got Parra to fly out to left field. And the runners to reach. LeMahieu with a walk in the first. The error committed at second base by Asuaje, and then the hit batter. And that's a strike. 2-1 to Charlie Blackmon.
Now pitching backwards, that'll mess with your mind if you're a hitter. You're looking for that fastball and you get that backdoor slider cutter.
Tough to catch up to that 92 in a little bit. Boy, now as a hitter, what do you look? Two-seamer in, backdoor slider. Looks like he's going with the fastball in.
Fly ball headed towards left field. Jankowski going back to make the catch and find the wall. Blackmon gives it a ride. He's got 35 home runs on the year. He's vying for number 36, but Jankowski makes the catch. 2 down.
Well, you saw Jhoulys Chacín after this catch with the smirk. He got away with one. This is elevated. But the awareness of Travis Jankowski, normally a center fielder, right at that wall and knowing how much room you have.
2 away for DJ LeMahieu. He has walked and grounded out to short. Line towards right center. Margot will lay it out, but he traps it in right center in the first hit of the night. For the Rockies comes with 2 down in the 6th inning. Chacín had not allowed a hit through 5 2/3 innings. Crowd will salute the effort of Jhoulys Chacín.
You really have to appreciate that effort. The slider down to LeMahieu. That's the way he hits it. Just not elevated enough on the catch and the trap. And nice job by Renfroe. He was circling behind Manuel Margot just in case that one gets by. As Mark Sweeney mentioned earlier, outfielders, corner outfielders, center fielder, there's always a place to be when the ball's hit to the outfield to back your guys up.
Man, as a pitcher, you got to respect that effort of Margot, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. If I'm pitching, I get out of this inning, I'll tell you what, I'm meeting Manuel Margot in the dugout and saying, hey, nice effort, kid. Appreciate you laying out, trying to pick that one. No doubt.
Two and 0 to Carlos Gonzalez. Two pitches right now for Chassin. Base hit breaks up a string of 9 in a row retired by Chassin.
Way off. Last 3 pitches.
We got to be careful here. Gonzalez has nothing to lose. It's been a struggle this year, but he's swinging the bat much better as of late.
Strike call. Thought it was ball 4, but gets the bad news from Ryan Blakeney, home plate umpire.
Caught the corner, didn't it?
Sort of.
Oh, come on.
That does not. And down to first base goes Gonzalez. So the second walk given up by Chassin, the first since the first inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Great job.
I actually disagree. I don't think it was that good at all. Woo! Action to the pen for the first time. Craig Stammen up and warming.
You don't know.
You didn't like it?
You don't know how much.
I thought I had a lot of issues with it.
You don't know how much of a challenge that was.
What makes it so hard?
Oh,
it's game number 155 of the season.
We can put it to music.
Clearly, we can put anything to music. Arenado has reached on an error and struck out swinging. All of a sudden, 2 on here, 2 down. And a pitch in there for a strike. .389 RBI since 2015. Tops in that category by quite a bit. Ball 2, 2-1. Shoots it foul off to the right out of play. Did you ever flirt with a no-hitter in your career?
Career? The minor leagues, I did.
Yep, you did get a no-hitter.
Yes, A ball. And that's one other start in AAA. 1, 2, 3 in the first, second, third. Leadoff changeup 2-0 to Ramon Caraballo for a home run solo shot, and then retired the rest of everybody. Wow. It was one hitter.
On a changeup.
On a changeup. I was trying to pitch backwards like Chassin, you know. Fastball count, thought I'd pull the string. He went down and got it. Hooked it. Sec Taylor Stadium.
You should have been thinking you could only hurt the ball club.
Yeah.
Don't think,
that's
just
a good
throw.
point. It's
Yeah.
a lesson learned.
Did you shake off?
No, I had it in my mind. That's what I wanted to.
Let's see. Yeah.
That makes it even worse. Doesn't
Like
it?
I said, did you shake off?
Outside, ball 4, and Arenado down to first base. That loads the bases here. So all of a sudden, Chassin's cruising here, had not given up a hit. Through 5 2/3 inning, gives up a base hit. Now back-to-back walks for Jolis. And you got Gerardo Parra coming up, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Bases filled with Rockies. .337 average with the bases loaded in his career. Has a grand slam on his resume.
See if he starts him off with a wrinkle here. Breaking ball. Oh, no.
In the shallow left, incoming is Travis Jankowski, and Chassin out of the jam. Rockies leave them loaded in the top of the 6th inning. Play 5.5, 1-0 Padres. Summary, and Yangervis Solarte would be at the plate when Myers took second base on a wild pitch, then comes up and singles into center field to score Myers around from second base. The only run in the game. Jolis Chassin getting out of a jam with the bases loaded. And the only hit of this ball game came after 5 2/3 innings from Chassin. Diving bid out there by Margot, did all he could. And Chassin giving up a base hit. And then would walk back-to-back hitters, but get out of the jam, getting Parra to fly out to left field. 1-0. Padres have the lead over the Rockies as the Padres come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they do so against a new pitcher, Kyle Freeland.
Well, most of you started this year 11-10 record, a 4.11 ERA coming out of the pen now. 9 arms for Bud Black and the Rockies since the September call-ups. Over 150 innings. So a different dynamic coming out of that bullpen.
Soft liner into right center field. A base hit for Spangenberg. And a good start for the home half of the 6th inning.
Well, with Chassin getting out of that jam last inning and coming up, and you're seeing left on left, Corey Spangenberg hitting this right over the head of DJ LeMahieu. That's tough to do. He's tall and lanky.
Austin Hedges has been aboard twice. First 2 plate appearances against Chad Bettis, the starter tonight. He walked and singled in those plate appearances. Back to the screen, 0-2.
Kyle Freeland's pretty 50-50 on the four-seamer and the sinker. He also threw up a cutter. Mix in a slider and a change.
It's going to be interesting to see how Andy Green manages this bottom half of the 6th inning. Greg Stammen's still up in the bullpen, but that pitcher spot comes up right after Jankowski.
To right field, Gonzalez on the move towards the line, lays it out, but it goes off the glove. And now Spangenberg keeps running, hitting for third, and to second is Hedges. Throw to third is late, then it's second and third with nobody out. Looked like Gonzalez was going to make that catch in right field. He got a glove on it, but could not make the grab. That is a double for Austin Hedges.
Well, I tell you what, I absolutely love this effort by Carlos Gonzalez in right field. Laying out for his club. Looked like he was going to make that catch. Gets it on the heel, and that pops it out. Now, Corey Spangenberg had a tough read on this. Then once it gets away, he has to scamper to third base. And the awareness of Austin Hedges going into second base. Padres got something going.
Second and third with nobody out.
I think if the Padres score a couple more runs here, maybe 3, I think Chacin goes back out there. I think if it stays at 1, I think Stammen comes in.
Second and third, nobody out.
Tell you what, I thought that ball was going to be caught. That was a very catchable ball. The way it rattled around in his glove.
Pitch inside here to Travis Jankowski. Infield in as Jankowski fouls it off over by the Padres dugout.
Well, this is what I love. Travis Jankowski up, got the infield in. Travis comes up with a big knock. I think Chacin actually stays in the game.
Got a bat in hand right now. And the waivers come out on deck. Swing and a miss, and Jankowski down on the count. Kyle Freeland coming in. Single and a double has started this inning. Second and third, nobody out. Padres trying to add on to a 1-0 advantage. Swing and a miss, and he battles back to strike out Jankowski. Fastball running in. Big strikeout right there for Kyle Freeland.
Travis, difficulty with the fastball down and in.
Even the waiver introduced in as he is, but Black heads out to the mound. San Antonio Sensatella warming in the pen, and it looks like Sensatella will be coming in. Pitching change with the Padres on top 1-0, threatening here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitching change from Petco Park in San Diego. 5 2/3 innings into this game. No hits were allowed by Jhoulys Chacín, but DJ LeMahieu, the base hit, a diving bit out there by Margot, but first hit of the night allowed by Chacín. And that is the night for Chacín. He'll be pinch hit for here by Villanueva, who is coming up for the Padres to face the new pitcher, who is into the game now for the Rockies, Antonio Sensatella, who we have seen a lot of. First as a starter, but now out of the bullpen for the Rockies.
Pitched a scoreless inning relief on Thursday. Four-seam fastball, heavy on that. His secondary pitch is a slider. And once again, another guy who could get it up to the mid-90s. One strikeout shy of a hundo, as my partner Don Orsillo would say. Boy, too many runners left on base in this ball game for San Diego. They need to come up with a big hit and put a crooked number up this inning.
Now Padres have left 7 men on base to this point. And they started this inning with runners at second and third, nobody out. Now they're there with 1 out, and Villanueva coming up here. Coming off the bench.
Well, we've heard Andy Green, the manager of the Padres, say that 2 weeks you can't really evaluate certain players, but you can evaluate certain opportunities, and this is a big one for Villanueva.
Great numbers so far in his first 5 games in the big leagues. 308, 2 homers, and 3 runs batted in for Christian Villanueva. Infield in all the way around with 1 out. What kind of difference it makes, Mud, for a lot of these guys now in the pen that were starters before are coming in now in high leverage situations from the pen.
Could be very aggressive and a few ticks higher on the fastball, I would say, too, rather than being a starter once every 5 days. And knowing that you're going to probably have 1 hitter, maybe 1 inning. You know, you might have a 2-inning guy out there, but I tell you what, if you've got a 6-day rest with all the arms in the bullpen and you're out there, hey, let the big dog eat. Go right after him. Snap off that breaking ball. Get on the heater.
Villanueva hits one right in front of the plate. Incoming. Sensatella flips and in. Scoring safely is Spangenberg. Corey coming in from third. Didn't go very far, right out in front of the plate. Sensatella coming in and flipping towards his catcher. Flip was high. Spangenberg gets in, and the Padres lead it 2-0.
Well, this is so good on Corey Spangenberg. Why? Because you're going on contact. Watch him take that break. And this is where the speed really comes into play. The high flip, a nice slide in for a big run for the Padres. No, Jhoulys Chacín's loving this.
Now, Spangenberg was not sure he touched the plate, so went back to make sure. It is a single for Villanueva and an RBI. Alan Cordova is going to pinch run at first base for Villanueva. So Cordova at first. Hedges took third. Padres now lead it 2-0. And Wilmar go with runners at the corners. They'll take a ball outside. Hedges at third. Cordova now at first base, pinch running. over the outside corner, 2-1. Second pitcher of the inning here for the Rockies. Kyle Freeland started the inning, and first run has been charged to him. Now a grounder foul outside of third.
Now, Sensatella really slowed up his arm right there. A lot of young pitchers will do that, especially with the big velocity guys. They have a tough time spinning that breaking ball in the strike zone. A lot of hitters will pick up on that.
Curveball in there for strike 3. That really froze him. There goes, strikes out looking, and that's out number 2 of the inning.
Oh, the knuckle curveball grip. Wow. You know, I'm all for calling a legitimate strike a strike. That one looked a little high. Mark Sweeney, you're the hitter. What do you think about that one?
It's a difficult call because I think it comes down to Lucroy being able to sell that pitch, and he did.
So 2 down, first and third, and it brings up Carlos Eswaje. Kind of surrounded the plate, but not a strike.
I agree.
So.
Jonathan Lucroy letting his infielders know what he's going to do here if double steal takes place. Lead off first base for Cordoba, pinch running at first. On the ground down the first baseline, foul. The Padres have just taken a 2-0 advantage here in this inning, and runs have been tough to come by for both teams right now.
Many opportunities, Mark Sweeney, for this Padre team, and it would be nice to score either 1 or 2 more to give the bullpen a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, because Chacin, you know, manipulating around the tough part of the lineup, the top half of the 6th inning.
Popped up. Down comes Arenado into foul ground, and he'll make the catch that will end the inning. Padres get a run, though, and take a 2-0 lead to the 7th inning.
You talked to me while I did my. Oh no.
Winner.
And so now this is probably the coolest free roller coaster that I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
it's hard to go straight. Like you gotta go to the side.
The work that I put in for them and against the opposing hitters is probably the most important part of my day.
Stay tuned after Padres Live, the postgame show. The best of Padres POV. A little bit of everything from this year. Michelle Margot does a great job on that show. Padres POV tonight after Padres Live.
2-0. Padres have the lead over the Rockies right now as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. And the new pitcher is Craig Stammen.
The last time out for Craig was a few days ago against the Diamondbacks, and he's had one heck of a season. Continues his 58th game of the year. Nice splits for the right-hander. Plenty of work out of that bullpen. And he's doing quite well against the Rockies this season. A .9, that's right, .93 ERA against these Rockies.
Well, Trevor Story going to lead it off here in the 7th inning. Shows bunt and hits pretty hard, actually. Stammen off the hill has time to get Story. So 1-3 on the retirement of Story here to begin things here in the 7th inning. Had the bunt bid, but to no avail. Actually bunted a little too hard.
And you know, Craig Stammen's that type of pitcher, Don, to where he's not that violent, to where he's falling off to the first base side. He gets himself in a pretty good fielding position, being very nimble to that ball down the third base side.
And Desmond coming up here 0 for 2. Grounded out to third base in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 5th. Margot over towards right center, gap out in left center field right now. Strike 2. Desmond will look back to Ryan Blakeney, the home plate umpire. Chassin went the first 6 innings in tonight's game, gave up just 1 hit. No runs. Walked 3, struck out 6, ended up throwing 92 pitches in his 6 innings. Boy, the Padres hit for him, and that pinch hitter in Villanueva brought in another run for the Padres. An insurance run with his infield hit. And scored Corey Spansberg and gave the Padres his 2-0 advantage. Grounder up the middle into center field. Ian Desmond with a base hit with 1 down here in the 7th. Time now for Carl's Jr. star of the game, and it is Jhoulys Chacín. Chacín, 6 shutout innings. He was outstanding tonight.
He was awesome. He had a no-hitter, what, from 5 1/3? Yeah. Had the 2-seamer working. Slider. Happy star for Jhoulys Chacín.
There's Lucroy 0 for 2. Out to right and struck out swinging. Good pitch in there for strike 1-1. The fastball from Stammen at 93.
Yeah, that's the one that doesn't get called too often. That one that's up and away to the righty or the lefty, that upper quadrant away. He got the call there with the 2-seamer. That's a legitimate strike. There it is on the line. Top of the strike zone.
It's legitimate, all right.
Oh, yeah.
To left center. Margot on the run isn't going to get there. Trying to deke the runner, but comes in and grabs it on a hop. That one falls in, and all of a sudden the Rockies on back-to-back base hits have runners at first and second and one down.
This looked like a slider down and away, and Lucroy goes down and gets it. Off the end of the bat, doesn't hit the sweet spot. It's going to dump in there in front of Margot. As you mentioned, Don, sometimes outfielders will deke the runners as if they're going to catch the baseball. They get caught in no man's land. It's a forced play at second base, but Desmond was not buying it on that one.
Raimel Tapia coming up here now for the Rockies. We've seen him come off the bench all 3 games of this series to this point, and 287 average, 2 homers, 13 runs batted in his 66th game of the year. Batting here with 2 on, 1 away in the Rockies' 7th inning. Stammen, first inning of relief here, and there is action in the Padres pen. Half-hearted swing right there. Got fooled on that pitch from Stammen. Breaking ball, 1-1.
Good curveball down and in.
There's Buddy Bauman. He's the action in the pen right now for the Padres. Rocky's pen is quiet. We saw Antonio Sensatello come into the game last inning. Lunges after that, finds himself down 1-2.
He's thrown him 2 strikes back to back. I mean, swinging that weren't even close. Curveball down and in, way off, as Jake McGee, the left-hander, heats up for Colorado, and then the 2-seam fastball well off the plate for the swing and miss.
Tapia fouls it back, still 1-2. Started with Trevor Story trying to bunt his way on, bunted it back to the mound. Out number 1, then Desmond and Lucroy both with singles to center field. Rockies have runners at first and second, 1 down. Pinch hitter Raimel Tapia batting here. Time call. Stammen taking a while here. Two and 2. Stammen's been very good against the Rockies. 6 games this year against Colorado. He's appeared 9 2/3 innings, giving up only 1 earned run. Looks out to be an 0.93 ERA against Colorado. Pickoff play at second, but no throw. Shooting in from short was Solarte.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's the daylight play. Solarte flashes the glove, and then Stammen spins and throws. Remember, when you spin and throw like that, you don't have to throw. He did not. Just keep that runner a little bit closer, possibly.
Strike 3 call. Stammen able to strike out Tapia. 2 down. First K for Craig Stammen.
Craig Stammen could not have placed this 2-seam fastball any better. It straightens up Tapia. He does a little moonwalk there in the box. You see him move his feet a little bit, and it catches the inside corner. That is a big strikeout for the right-hander.
Here comes Andy Green. He has had Buddy Bauman warming in the pen. And looks like he's going to go get him here. Charlie Blackmon coming up. Baumann coming in. Padres holding on to a 2-0 lead. Pitching change from San Diego. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, where the pets go. By Jack in the Box. Come try Jack's new 9-hour slow-cooked brisket burger, only at Jack in the Box for limited time at participating restaurants. And by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru, symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. Now the Padres with a 2-0 advantage here in the bullpen. Busy at work. Craig Stammen has gone 2/3 of an inning. And with runners at first and second now, Buddy Baumann in to face Charlie Blackmon, and greets him with strike one.
Well, when you're a left-hander in the bullpen, sometimes it's just one guy that you got to concentrate getting out when you come to the ballpark that night. Buddy Baumann with the stealth fastball. Really good numbers for Buddy entering his 21st game.
Blackmon grounds it foul outside of first, and it's 0-2. He is grounded back to the mound, hit by a pitch, and then was caught trying to steal. And then last time up, flied out to the warning track in left field. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Blackmon. So Buddy Baumann does his job, comes in and strikes out Blackmon. Ends the top of the 7th inning. The Rockies strand 2 because of this strikeout, and the Padres have a 2-0 lead. Padres enjoy a 2-0 advantage here into the bottom of the 7th inning. 33,899 on hand here tonight. Good crowd to see the Padres and Rockies in Game 3. I'd like to thank everybody who works behind the scenes at Fox Sports San Diego, and everybody that you don't see on the front side of the camera. I thank them for all that they do. We'll be thanking a lot of them more tomorrow in our final home broadcast of the year, but we thank a lot of them for everything they do here all season long. Audio to tape to video to camera work. All the fine men and women here at Fox Sports San Diego.
That's a great crew right there, and I'm serious. We can go to every part of this ballpark, whether it's out to the set the other night at the San Diego deck, down to the dugout before the game, in the truck, up here. I mean, it's always a barrel of laughs, having a chuckle. Just, it's a great crew. Part of coming to work is to seeing those people, the hard work they do, and having fun along with it.
Well, Jake McGee taking over here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He's generally the 8th inning guy with a lead, but gives you an idea of how important this game is to the Rockies. Every game the rest of the way here. Into his 60th game of the year for the hard-throwing left-hander.
I think this part of the lineup has something to do with it as well. Bud Black bringing in McGee. We're talking 3, 4, 5 here.
Myers, Solarte, Renfroe, the trio he will face. Time call. Sensatella leaves after going 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit, no runs. He did allow an inherited runner to score. Didn't walk anybody and struck out one. Myers jolts it foul down the right field line. McGee at 97, and it's fouled off. Jake McGee has closed out some games for the Rockies. Previous closing job with the Tampa Bay Rays in the past. And the breaking ball freezes Myers, strikes him out. One down here in the 7th inning. Will Newitt takes with him the first K for Jake McGee.
Big curveball, big looping curveball. Outside the plate, ends up right down the middle. Will Myers looked like from that reaction, maybe guessing something hard. But that line score out there looks kind of lopsided. 2 runs and 10 hits for San Diego.
One down for Yangervis Solarte. Grounded back to the mound, lined out to left, and singled to center to drive in a run. McGee wanted it. It falls behind here, 2-0. Fouled off to the right, 2-1. Renfroe waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the last half of the 7th inning. Kirby Yates getting ready in the pen. Two and two. That's one area the Padres really have to be pleased with towards the end of this season, especially after the trades of Buchter and Maurer, how good this bullpen has become as the year has gone on.
I think it brings out what these pitchers are made of and what they're all about. I mean, Buddy Baumann comes to mind.
Popped up, foul ground. Desmond by the seats will make the play. 2 down.
Kirby Yates moved up the food chain. Buddy Bauman came into a spot and struck out the best hitter right now in Major League Baseball, the National League. Struck out Charlie Blackmon. Kirby Yates has been high leverage and putting up great numbers.
Two down here in the 7th, and it brings up Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe has grounded out twice and struck out. Jolts it foul down the right field line and finds himself in a hole here, down 0-2. .24 home runs on the year for Renfroe. Foul back again. Point sitting at 229 against Jake McGee. Spent some time in the DL, missing the better part of a month with a mid-back strain. Stays away, and it's 2-2. Scored upon 13 times of the 59 appearances he's made on the year, this being appearance number 60.
Back to the curveball.
What else you got, Jake?
Did you see him? Like, whatever. What am I supposed to put down?
I put down everything you throw. What is it you'd like to do? Start again. Looks like he's back to the gas again. And it'll miss. So it went from 0-2 to a full count here. Be able to strike out Myers. Got Solarte to foul out to the first baseman, Ian Desmond. They want to battle with Hunter Renfroe. Looks like they're going to try and come in. They do, and strike out Renfroe on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Padres have a 2-0 lead.
Giancarlo Stanton chasing a magic number in his mind of 61, and he'd leave the building again tonight.
Mike, it's pretty interesting. 4 away, but after the trip to Arizona, he goes to Colorado for 3 games. He has it in sight.
Yeah, 61 is where he feels the number is set, and he's at 57 right now. They lead the ball game 9-6 in the 7th inning. Remember, the Diamondbacks are holding seat number 1 right now for the National League wild card. Colorado is holding seat 2, but it's getting a little shaky. The Padres are helping make that a problem. Mark and I are working on Padres Live, the postgame show, which will be brought to you tonight by Cox Communications. When we see you after the final out, you're going to hear from Andy Green, all the players involved in the game tonight. Highlights from around both leagues as we check out the wild card races in the American League and the National League. And we'll tee you up for the 4th and final game of this series. Back up now to Don Orsillo and Mark Grant. Guys?
All right, thanks very much, Mike and Mark, as we head here to the 8th inning with the Padres on top 2-0. And on the mound is Kirby Yates, 4th arm used tonight by San Diego.
Well, we talked about him when he was heating up in the bullpen. A tough inning, high leverage inning. 2, 3, 4 due up for Kirby and the Padres. 61st game. Got to hold him at 2.
DJ LeMahieu leads it off and takes a first pitch strike over the outside corner. LeMahieu tonight has walked, grounded out, and singled. He's one of only 3 Rockies hits in the game. Down 0-2. Padres out hitting the Rockies 10-3. Well, Margot, center fielder, well over into right center. This is the defense we've seen against LeMahieu all season long in this season series. Chop foul outside of third.
Yeah, Manuel is not lost out there. He knows exactly where he's at.
Get Jankowski well over into left center field, and anything pulled down the line, he's going to be running a while. Strikes out instead. 1 down in the 8th inning.
Kirby Yates breaking out Uncle Splitty. The old trap door. It's not exactly the gyro ball, but you can see that ball tumbling and then off the table for the swing and a miss.
1 down in the 8th, and it brings up Carlos Gonzalez. He walked his last time up. They go into a shift on the right side on him in the infield. In the outfield, they play for him to go the other way. We're talking about the hitters coming up last inning to face McGee. Kirby Yates facing the toughest part of the order right here for the Rockies in the 8th inning.
Yep.
Mayhew, Gonzalez, Arenado, anybody gets on, Parra. On a strike to Gonzalez. Kirby Yates was claimed off waivers by the Padres from the Angels. He's become a very important part of the Padres bullpen this season. Goes up top at 95, and it's 1-2. Chacin went 6 shutout innings. Craig Stammen 2/3 of an inning. Eddie Bauman a third. And is allowed a run, and they've all combined to only allow 3 hits. Foul back. We'll do it again. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Austin Hedges for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kirby Yates. 2 down in the 8th.
Just pumping the old four-seamer right down the middle into the glove of Hedges off the bat. Nice.
So 2 down here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Nolan Arenado. Reached on a miscue. Struck out and walked on the night. Jumping on that first pitch, fouling it back. Going to be 94-mile-an-hour running fastball. Wave making its way around Petco Park right now. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Drops in there for strike 2. Guess Arenado didn't think so.
Wow.
Umpires don't generally like that when you do that.
No. I was going to say, it's a little aggressive.
Out to center field. Back goes Margot. He'll get there to make the catch. It ends the top of the 8th inning. 1-2-3 inning for Kirby Yates. 2-0 Padres. The finale of the series, the finale of the home regular season schedule for the Padres. They take on the Rockies, and it's German Marquez who'll be on the mound tomorrow. He is 10-7 with a 4.41 earned run average for the Rockies, while Luis Perdomo looks for win number 9 of the season, a 4.57 ERA. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Padres and Rockies from Petco Park in San Diego. As we play along here to the last of the 8th inning, Padres trying to add on to their 2-0 advantage. You get Spangenberg, Hedges, and Jankowski expected in the inning, and a new pitcher on for the Rockies. You go to a left-hander and Chris Russin.
Second Major League Baseball, 83 innings pitched as a reliever. He worked 2+ innings 17 times, including 3 or more 5 times. So he's one of those guys for one hitter or multiple innings for Bud Black, his 58th game. Putting together a pretty nice season.
Spangenberg leads it off, takes it the other way. A fair ball down the left field line to the corner. Over to play it is Parra. Spangenberg motors into second base. The leadoff double that starts the bottom of the 8th. Second hit of the night for Spangenberg.
It's exactly what we're talking about with Travis Jankowski spraying the ball all over the place. Well, Corey Spangenberg getting inside that one, keeping it fair for the double bagger. Padres trying to add on, get a little insurance here in the 8th.
Padres 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position in this game. They have the 2-0 advantage, and Austin Hedges coming up. He's had a good night. Walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, doubled in the 6th inning. Chop left side off the glove of Arenado into left. So Spangenberg will take 3rd. Arenado got a glove on that, deflected it, and it kicks out to left field. Base hit for Austin Hedges. It is his 3rd hit of the night, 4th time he's been aboard, and 1st and 3rd with nobody out here in the Padres 8th inning.
Oh, the ball bounced the Padres' way this inning. You know, when you hit it to the 3rd base side against the Rockies, you better make sure it's out of his reach, because Nolan Arenado is going to get it most of the time. Change of direction, Story to his right, can't plant, go to his left. That's a hang with him. It's 1st and 3rd action.
And Travis Jankowski coming up, infield in now for Colorado. Jankowski tonight has singled to right and has struck out swinging each of the last 2 times he has hit. Rick Ibar has come out on deck here for the Padres. Strike over the outside corner. Infield in for the Rockies here. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Last of the 8th. Swing and a miss, and Jankowski finds himself down 1-2.
See if Russell tries to pump another fastball down and in.
Seems like that's what they're trying to do to Travis Jankowski lately.
Absolutely. They did it last at bat. Russell is continuing to do it here.
Trying to find his bearings. He came into the game, allowed a double right out of the gate to Corey Spangenberg, and a single to Austin Hedges. Runner goes at first, and they may have picked off. No, nobody covering at second. So a stolen base for Austin Hedges. He takes off. They throw to first. And Desmond looked up at second base, and not covering the Story right away, so he couldn't throw.
First move, he's gone. And Austin was anticipating that throw being thrown to second base.
He was getting ready to be in a rundown.
Yes. But because the way the positioning of the infielders, they were in late coverage. Big break for San Diego.
So now 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Foul will do it again, 1-2. And Russin wants to talk to his catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. Relax. Rockies trailing here 2-0. Spangenberg at third, Hedges at second, nobody out, and again the 1-2 to Jankowski. Two and two. Inside, and it hits Jankowski. That will load the bases.
Two-seamer, and Jankowski takes one for the team.
Bases now filled with Padres, and the pinch hitter will be Eric Ibar. .235, 7 homers, and 20 runs batted in for Eric. Spangenberg at third, Hedges at second, Jankowski at first. Wesson has got himself in a mess here, and the Padres trying to execute here with the bases loaded and nobody out. Grounder foul.
I'll tell you what, a base hit here will make you forget about that line score reading. 2 runs, 12 hits, 9 runners left on base for San Diego. For some reason, that is big time lopsided when you look at that.
Ibar fouls it off down the right field line, and now down 0-2. Lucroy out again to talk to Russin. He's trying to find a way out of this jam here in the inning. And preserve what is a 2-run deficit right now for Bud Black. Spangenberg at third, Hedges at second, Jankowski at first. Ibar grounds one to first. Desmond touches first and then airmails it. 1 run is in. Here comes another run in, and the Padres take a 4-0 lead. Desmond backed up, got the out at first, and then fired it up over his catcher's head. Spangenberg scored, Hedges scored, and it's 4-0 Padres.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Talking about the ball bouncing the Padres' way. The ball off of Arenado's glove into left field. Desmond working underneath that one all the way back to the screen. Wow.
That's a big error for Ian Desmond. It allows one of the 2 runs to score. Pitching change with the Padres on top 4-0.
think throughout the series, like the deep backs probably are a little bit deeper, stronger from a rotation perspective, and I think that's probably ends up being the separator. Both offenses can be potent at different times, and both offenses can struggle because that's just the nature of baseball. So whichever one of those teams is hot, they're plenty capable of running through the National League and playing into the World Series. But these guys have to get in first, and we'll do whatever we can to keep the Rockies out right now because that's what's out in front of us.
That's Andy Green talking about the lineups between the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, the two teams battling for the wild card at this point. He likes the depth of the Arizona Diamondback, but he has a lot of respect for both of these ball clubs. But as he put it, either team has to get through the Padres first. They've now won 6 of 9 if they can hang on to this one, guys, against both wild card contenders.
Thanks very much, Scan. As first pitch here from the new pitcher, Adam Ottavino, first appearance of the series.
59 strikeouts in 50 2/3 innings pitched. He's a strikeout pitcher. We know that. He's got the frisbee slider. First 2 pitches there. Here's another look. Throws across his body big time as well.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Infield in all the way around here for the Rockies. Jankowski ended up at third base after the throwing error by Ian Desmond. Down the right field line, foul and out of play. 96 from Ottavino. Former Northeastern University Husky.
He should have 00 on his jersey. Bookends, right? Ottavino. O in front, O on the end. Like Jim Otto from the Raiders back in the day.
Yeah. Fly ball, center field. Back goes Blackman, and he will make the catch, tagging at third, and scoring is Travis Jankowski. Padres take a 5-0 lead. Sac fly for good measure to center field off the bat of Manuel Margot.
Padres taking out a policy here in this inning. A little insurance for you, if you will. Taking advantage of some bad plays. Adding on.
So 2 down here in the 8th, and it brings up Carlos Siswahe. Siswahe tonight has struck out, singled, grounded out, and fouled out. 1 for 4 night tonight for the Padres second baseman. Down 0-2. Five runs, 12 hits, an error for San Diego. No runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Rockies. Strike 3 call. Siswahe strikes out. But quite an inning for the Padres. They tack on 3 more in the bottom of the 8th to take a 5-0 lead in the 9th inning. Some big hits in the inning as well. As we get ready for the top of the 9th inning, and Brad Hand, the closer, into the game in a non-save situation.
Thursday became the second Padre reliever to record back-to-back 100 strikeout seasons.
He's going to have to deal here with Gerardo Parra. Trevor Story, Ian Desmond scheduled to bat in the 9th.
Talk about a great year.
Well, 0 for 3 in the game. He's flat out to left, flat out to right, and flat out to left again. Strike one. And taking over for Kirby Yates. A 1-2-3 8th inning, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Oh, great job the bullpen has done again tonight. All of the pitching for the Padres, really, for that matter.
And once again, Don, you talk about the relievers beforehand, right? The save sometimes comes earlier in the game. And the 7th was a huge part of this game that Stammen and Yates, Stammen and Baumann got out of.
Stammen went 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits, no runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. Parra may have gone. They check. No.
Oh.
Says Chris Conroy, third base umpire.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, if he hits it, it's a double. For the love of Pete.
I knew that was coming.
He definitely went on that, didn't he?
I don't know. It's close.
Oh, come on. What game you watching?
Our booth umpire does not agree with Chris Conroy, the third base umpire, who's an actual umpire. Swing and a miss.
No, he didn't go.
Struck him out. 1 down in the 9th.
Nice breaking ball. The frisbee off the plate. Got to protect, right? Well, he can throw it for a strike. He can just throw it off the plate a little bit for the strikeout.
1 down in the 9th inning. And it brings up Trevor Story. Shortstop for the Rockies has popped to short, struck out looking, and grounded back to the mound. Lines one to center field. Margot coming in, but it's going to drop for a base hit. And All plays it on a hop, and Story's on with 1 out in the 9th inning. That'll bring up Ian Desmond, who made a very costly error defensively in the bottom of the 8th inning. Throwing error led to a run, and the Padres scored 3 times in that bottom of the 8th inning. A 2-0 lead going in. On top now 5-0. In there for strike 1. On the ground and through the right side into right field, a base hit. Story will take second on the single by Desmond, and the Rockies have runners at first and second with 1 away here in the 9th.
Just taking this ball, boy, off the plate. If that's taken, probably a ball, but Desmond just with the intent of that ball being away, spanking exactly where it was pitched.
out first and second, and Jonathan Lucroy coming up. Rockies catcher 1 for 3, single to center field in the 7th. And was able to strike out Parr to begin the inning. Back-to-back base hits, and a pinch hitter in Mark Reynolds has come out on deck here for the Rockies. The pitcher spot coming up next. Foul down the right field line, 1-1.
Well, the right-hander Lucroy, the left-hander Hand, that breaking ball down and in, heads up left side of the infield. Spangenberg, Solarte to turn 2 to wrap this one up.
Lucroy down the right field line. It is going to be a foul ball. Rattles around down there by the 322 marker, but a foul ball. That one runs away, 2-2. Story at second, Desmond at first, one out here in the 9th. Swing and a miss, and Lucroy strikes out for out number 2 of the 9th inning. Breaking ball that was up.
Yeah, you could tell as soon as Lucroy finished this swing, he wishes he hadn't. Very upset at that offering, up and out of the zone.
Now Mark Reynolds pinch hitting here with 2 down in the inning. It started game 1 of this series at first base. Comes off the bench here in game 3. 29 home runs, 93 runs batted in. The Friar faithful on their feet at Petco Park. Standing is 1. Strike 1. Strike 2, I think. They checked and he did go. 0-2. $33,899 coming to their feet at Petco Park in San Diego. Trying to hand Bud Black and the Rockies a shutout here tonight. The 0-2 pitch from Hand. Oh, wow, close pitch, 1-2.
Wow. I think this is a legit strike. Wow.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. That should be the ball game, but instead, Reynolds going to get another chance. Two down, runners at first and second for the Rockies. And trying to finish off the Rockies right here. On the ground to short. Solarte goes to second for the force out that wins the ball game. 6-4 on the force out at second base, and the Padres blank the Rockies 5-0. Outstanding pitching in this game tonight from the Padres. They win it 5-0. They've taken 2 of the first 3. It's time for Padres Live. What's in store, Mike Pomeranz?
How about your Padres shutting out the Rockies 2 out of 3 games so far in this series for the Rockies? That's the 3rd time they've been shut out in their last 4 as they continue to fight for the wild card spot. We'll have highlights and standings in a moment.